Hello, people from around the world. There's an issue we'd like to unfurl. There's been back-to-back attacks of people that appear black. Before you start assuming and hunching your backs, we would like to take some time and show you the facts.
I would like you to meet Oscar Grant. Oscar Grant was only 2 hours into the new year 2009 when he was fatally shot, laying face down and handcuffed. The BART officer shortly resigned and pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. November 5th, 2010, the BART officer was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 2 years in prison. With time served, he only spent 6 months behind bars in Los Angeles County Jail and was released and now on probation. The city of Oakland still felt justice wasn't served. And there's actually a movie called Fruitvale Station starring Michael B. Jordan out.
And I go to Full Sail University, and I'm here to talk about police brutality. The situation I chose was the Freddie Gray case that happened in Baltimore, Maryland. On April 19, 2015, Freddie Gray was mysteriously killed by policemen. Freddie Gray was arrested in West Baltimore on April 12th for an unknown reason. That day, Freddie Gray was arrested. He ended up having complications walking. That day he arrived at the station, Gray couldn't breathe or speak. Gray was also suffering from internal wounds that will later kill him. Gray died a week later from his wounds, which involved his spinal cord being snapped. There were 6 police officers that were involved in this case that got suspended with pay from their job. Their names were Lieutenant Brian Rice, Sergeant Alicia White, Officer Caesar Goodson, Officer William Porter, Officer Garrett Miller, and Officer Edward Nero. The question that still remains unanswered is, how did the spinal cord get broken? What was the reason of his arrest, and what happened inside the Rough Ride van? How I feel about police brutality is it's uncalled for. There are too many black lives being taken for no reason, and then we don't get justice as it is. How I feel about this case is we need answers. I know for a fact that you can't just wake up and break your own spinal cord. It doesn't work that way. I feel that everyone should be treated equally no matter what color you are or what job you have.
On Tuesday, September 25th, 2014, 14-year-old Cameron Tillerman was shot and killed by Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's officers as they were attempting to investigate reports of a burglary in an abandoned house. Witnesses report that a group of men were burglarizing a residence in their neighborhood. When officers arrived on scene to make contact, witnesses say that they heard 3 shots from inside the house. 14-year-old Cameron was pronounced dead on the scene. In police reports, they insist that he was indeed the individual that had the weapons. However, after interviews with the others apprehended in the alleged burglary, there was no gun present and police did not identify themselves. To make matters worse, the house in which the police responded was the wrong house. This case is still under investigation, but is all too familiar occurrence in the African American community. Neighbors in the community have voiced outrage to the mistreatment police officials have had on many of the African American citizens in the city and spoke on the growing tension between the police and the community. In order to alleviate the tension, I feel police officers should spend more time sympathizing with the people they serve in their community. Not all situations should be resolved with force or excessive force in this case. Also, officers who do get out of hand should be dealt with in accordance to the same laws they are paid to uphold. No one is above the law.
Police officers should be held accountable for their actions and charged to the fullest extent of the law, setting an example for others. This will then have officers think twice about the consequences and repercussions due to them not following proper protocol. Also, training should be revised and worked on monthly, eliminating excuses, and also have body cams issued to all officers globally in order to help corroborate the story of both alleged suspect, victim, and officer. Trust for the police force needs to be brought back into the communities. I feel that precincts should reward their staff for going X amount of days without any mishaps or complaints within the unit. This will then give officers something more to look forward to when going out on the job and servicing their community. Police should also learn the areas in which they're policing. rather than only targeting what's known to be bad about the area, but also learning the members as far as mental, physical, or spiritual ailments. Also, with this interaction, this will help with fellowshipping and being able to mentor within a community. This will bring playfulness into the workforce of policing, aka gamification. We're all human, so why not have fun? See, we live in a time where your skin determines if or not I think you've committed a crime. In the eyes of a man who thinks in his mind, your tone doesn't quite match up to mine. I just know that he thinks we're not all one of a kind. Even though this man in blue doesn't understand or know you, most likely fears and hates the unknown too. So if it's a new experience of what he sees, he's then stricken by the disease of ignorance. If it is bliss, the enjoyance of evil from within shall only begin to make you kill this difference of melanin skin. If we begin to learn, listen, and pay attention, then we'd all know there's no race. We're just only human.